to our channel. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Nikki, and we're the Stitch Sisters.
And this is what we love this week.
Unlucky 13.
Is it really? Unlucky
Anything
for
can
some.
happen.
Unlucky for some,
Yeah.
not unlucky for us.
No. Do you believe in things like that?
I don't. I'm not superstitious at all, to be honest. In fact, I'm one of those person that belligerently will walk under a ladder.
Just because you can.
Just because I can.
Yeah.
And like, whilst I'm doing it, be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. I'm not particularly, but my mum was very superstitious.
Yeah.
Because she's Scottish but Irish descent, so her parents were Irish, and so she had lots of things that green was unlucky.
Oh,
So anything that, I think that's why I had my thing for green for a long time. So green was unlucky, 13 was unlucky. I also remember you couldn't put new shoes on the table.
Oh right, I've heard that before. I've heard about shoes on the table.
There's random things that pop up in my head. Brolly's up in the
Black
house.
cat walks saying good morning, Mr. Magpie.
So anyway, after all that randomness, welcome back to what we love this week.
So the most important thing we should probably mention is that our bust adjustment class is now live.
Woo!
It went up on Friday, and so much work and so much love has gone into this, and we really hope that it's the comprehensive class that you've been looking for. We've tried to cover as many different variations for bust adjustment as we possibly can, and we've tried to provide as much information about how and why they're important and what a difference they'll make to your sewing. So go and check that out. It is pricier than the other classes that we've released up until now, but that's purely because of the amount of work that was involved.
And it's over 3.5 hours.
It's nearly 4 hours. Yeah, it's just short of 4 hours.
Which is a lot. And the idea is obviously that if you need to do a bust adjustment and you're doing one on a single dart bodice, but next time, how do you then interpret that to do it on a princess scene?
Yeah.
So we're showing you all of these things so you can revisit it time and time again and learn to do bust adjustments through all the patterns.
Yes, and we genuinely do think that learning how to fit the bust area will make the single biggest difference to your sewing.
Absolutely.
So if you are bigger or smaller than what's called a sewing pattern B cup, it's not the same as bra sizes, and if you need to know why, go and watch the class. and basically it will definitely give you a much better fit if you make an adjustment. So yeah, go check that out. We're very proud of it. It's taken a lot of time and effort, and we hope you guys like it too. We kick off with the reason why we are filming this in my bedroom is so that you can see behind us we have a selection of beautiful houseplants.
Yes.
And these were very kindly given to us by an awesome company called Hortology. So Hortology just do plants, indoor plants mainly, and they do a wide variety of different pots.
Yes.
Some beautiful pots and beautiful plants. And what we love about them is we know that there are some subscription services out there at the moment for plants. You know, where you can get a plant sent to you every month, a plant and a pot, and you don't know what you're getting. But the thing is with those kind of services is that it's not necessarily what you want, and I would much rather go somewhere that has a huge selection that I can pick and treat myself to.
Yes.
Based on whether I want something small or I want something large or I
something
want
drapey.
Yeah, if I want something
drapey like that. Plants aren't drapey.
Drapey.
They're trailing. Fabric is drapey. I'm mixing my two things together.
We know what you meant.
Yes.
We know what you
meant.
meant.
Trailing plants.
So let's show you the ones that they sent us.
Yes.
So we've got a lovely selection here. So this one here, this is a Calathea. And it's got, you might not be able to see it that well on camera, but it's got these lovely pink veins on these leaves, hot pink, or like baby pink against the green, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then the pot that we chose to put this one in is this amazing, it looks like cement, but it's not heavy enough for that, so I think it's plaster. But it's just this beautiful curved shape, very sort of modern but rustic.
Yes.
And it just fits perfectly. And because the leaves are so dark, we think it goes really nicely with the lighter pot.
Yes, because it really makes it pop, doesn't it?
Yes, and Calathea is an easy to look after plant. All of my plants are easy to look after. But the reason why we were so excited to receive them is, I'm sure you guys already know, we were absolutely obsessed with houseplants, aren't we? We've
completely.
got houses full of them. Every windowsill in our house is just
It's been a new thing, but it's one of those things that as soon as you see, it's like we're collecting them. So as soon as you see a new type, you're like, I can't leave it in the shop.
Yeah.
I have to take it home. I have to add it to my collection.
So it was exciting to receive, and we didn't know what we were getting from Hortology, so it was really exciting to have a little surprise delivery. Speaking of delivery, before we show you the rest of the plants, if you've got any reservations about how does a plant get posted to me and arrive in good condition, we were totally blown away by how good they arrive.
I took pictures, so I'll insert some pictures as I was unwrapping them and everything, so you can see how well the packaging, everything is packaged.
Yeah, I mean, it's boxed up and they say fragile, but we all know lots of couriers ignore that, and they've obviously gone for a premium courier that takes it very seriously.
Yes.
Because they arrived in immaculate condition. And actually, we do have a lot of houseplants, but I can honestly say I don't have many that are this kind of quality.
No, and they're very, I just love the fact that they're so unusual. You flick through the website and they've got so many that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to add to your starter collection with some unusual varieties, then they're a great place to go. And don't be put off by the fact that they'll have to post it to you, because like we said, they came immaculate, didn't they?
Yeah, and they are really reasonable. So the prices start from as little as sort of £4 or £5.
Yeah.
And they have got giant monstera plants and all those kind of things, so you can spend, well over £100 on a plant if you want to.
Yes.
But there are loads and loads of other things in sort of the lower end and the mid range.
Yes.
And I think that's what I love about houseplants, is that they add a real pop of interest and colour to your home decor, but they're not expensive.
No.
And I also get this real joy out of caring for them and keeping them alive.
Yeah.
Because I spent years killing absolutely everything that I ever bought and would never have dared have a house plant because I couldn't keep flowers alive for even the few days they were supposed to be alive for.
I had the odd one, but it was usually a big one. I had one big one and I didn't have any others, so I had this one massive plant, but I don't know what happened to it over the years. But I'm loving having all the little ones. Like every room I go into, there's a plant in it, and that's what I'm loving at the moment.
Well, she says every room she goes into there's a plant, and she's lying, because every room she goes into there's about 10 plants in it, and I'm the same.
I was skimming over that.
But I have to say, these ones that have come from Hortology have taken pride of place in my living room. They are in the most sort of focal areas of the living room because I love them so much. So the Calathea is the one that I have given a home to. Yes. And the other one that I've given a home to is this.
We had to fight it out over this one.
Yeah, this one is a Japanese bird's nest fern, and we just love the crinkly leaves, but also the way that the leaves curl out from the centre, so it grows from the middle out. Yeah. And they just unroll, and it's just the most beautiful thing. Yeah. And the pot for this one is a lovely glazed ombre pot, so it's kind of browns and there's blues and golds in there as well.
Yeah. And you can see that's handmade because it's not perfect. The edges aren't perfect. It looks handmade, and that's what I love about their pots.
It's beautiful.
They look really special.
Yeah, so show us your ones.
So these are both in my console table in my hallway. So my big one here and this little one. And because it's at that height where it's kind of down here, I can look at it from the top down. And that's what I love about this plant. Yeah. That kind of unfurlingness is a bit like your one. And it as the leaves actually come diagonally, which is what I really love about it. They go in a swirl, and it's growing from the inside out again. Exactly like Rachel's was, and I love this pot. I think that is so my colour, isn't it? It's like it was made for me.
Beautiful glazed teal, it's beautiful. And I think that one is small, but it's got loads of personality.
Oh yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. And then this bad boy, we'll bring him over, and can I just point the pot out? Look at the pot.
I knew I didn't stand a chance with that pot because the second that Nikki opened the box, she went, so I was like, right, the pot is Nikki's.
What's that one? It's an
Aglaonema Diamond Bay.
And again, I just love the pale.
It's a type of Calathea.
It looks similar type of leaf, isn't it? So I'm turning it around so you can see the leaves, but these are variegated, and I just love the pale stripe down the middle.
It almost looks blue against the green, doesn't it?
It does,
especially because the blue pot, I think that makes it look kind of blue.
And it's really lovely, and I love it's got those leaves that unfurl from the middle as well, so they're kind of like unwrapping themselves in front of you. So I absolutely love them.
Yes.
And I'm definitely going to be buying more.
Yeah, me too. So if you love houseplants, or if you like the idea of them, but you don't necessarily trust yourself, then the great thing about Hortology is not only do they have a good selection, but they're all categorised. So you can find the ones that are easy to care for.
Yeah.
You can also find the ones that are happy in different light situations and that sort of thing. So if you know that you've only got a shaded area, or you've only got very bright spots in your house, you can choose a variety that's going to work for that. But there's also a lot of information about the care of the plants on there as well.
On the website,
so it tells you how often they should be watered, how much, whether they should be misted, whether they need food, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And if, like me, you don't generally tend to worry about that sort of thing, then just pick the ones that are really easy to care for, and generally all they need is a watering every sort of week or so, and then they're perfectly happy. Some of them even less than that.
Yes. So we love them. So thank you very much, Hortology.
Yes.
And we hope you go and visit their website and have a look and see what you can find for yourselves.
Yes. Right, so the next thing that I wanted to mention this week is I'm wearing earrings.
I have finally passed my love of earrings on to Rachel.
So, as some of you may have seen on Instagram, I went to a wedding last weekend and I made this dress, and it was the Vogue, can't remember what it's called, a 9253, the kimono V-neck dress, and it was a last minute make, but I really felt like it needed earrings. And so I don't have my ears pierced. I know that sounds crazy to anybody. I'm 41 and I don't have my ears pierced. And it's a very simple explanation. My mum was very strict when I was young, and she wouldn't let me get my ears pierced until I was 16. And by that point, I found other distractions and I wasn't really thinking about it. And then I got to the point where I thought, well, I've got this far. Do I really need to bother anymore? So what I managed to find in order to wear earrings to this wedding was these little converters that you can get from Amazon. So I will put them in our Amazon shop so that you can click and find them easily. But basically what they do is they're this little clip, and you use them for stud earrings. So I'm going to hold that up close. So basically what you do is you take the back of the earring, the stud, and you bend it and then insert it into this little tube here. And it turns it into a clip-on earring.
That's clever.
Yeah, it is. And they're great. And I think that it means that there are so many, especially if you like danglers, and that's what I tend to be drawn to. They usually are stud because you need that extra security to hold the weight. And that means that they're perfect for these. And I bought a set of 30 different converters which came in 3 colours. So you've got bright gold, you've got like a sort of more bronzy colour, and silver, and it was $8.99 or something like that. So I'll put a link.
And you can reuse them. You can just take them off afterwards, or is the idea that you would have them on the earrings and then you don't have to worry about...
You could do that. You could easily pull them out. So you could only just use a couple of pairs and just have your gold and your silver and just put whichever one in is relevant. But I was really impressed with those. The only thing that I found is that for me, the ones that I wore to the wedding were really, really heavy. And they stayed on fine, but my ears were a little bit tender by the end of the day, just because it was a lot of weight to be clamped onto my ear the whole time. So I have decided, I love them, I love wearing earrings, I am going to get my ears pierced. So you're never too old. And also my daughter, who is 11, desperately wants to get hers done, so I said to her, why don't we get them done together, and I can get them done first, and then she'll feel a little bit braver.
Lovely.
So yeah, I'll put a link to these,
yes.
Yay.
When you told me the other day, the first thing I said was, yeah, we can go earring shopping.
So what else have you been doing this week?
Well, I've been watching a new programme on BBC called Gentleman Jack.
Oh yes, I want to watch that.
And it's a period drama from the BBC, which you know that they do brilliantly, and it's starring Saran Jones, who's amazing. And it's basically a story of this kind of Edwardian family, and the head of the house, or the oldest daughter, is a bit of a character, to say the least. So she's gay, she's a lesbian, she dresses quite mannishly. So she wears a top hat and she wears a frock coat, but she does wear a skirt. So she kind of looks like a man, but she hasn't gone the whole hog with the trousers. I think that probably wasn't acceptable in those days. And it's about her life and the fact that she is pulled away from Skipton in Yorkshire, where her family house is, but the fact that she comes back and tries to make a go of the farm and the house and things like that. But I think it's quite a it's got a bit of a comedy edge to it.
Is it?
Because not a comedy, but it's kind of like, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek as well. It's not serious. It's kind of got, it has you giggling as you watch it. So I'm highly recommending it. I think you should watch it. The other thing I've been watching is Hatton Garden.
Okay.
Which is on ITV.
Yeah.
And it's been on every night this week. So we had episode 3 last night, I think it was. And it's about the Hatton Garden robbery.
Oh, okay.
The jewellery robbery, where they basically broke into a Hatton Garden security box bank over the bank holiday Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And they made 2 attempts at it and then got away with all of this money.
Wow.
So it is good. It's got really good actors in it. It's really well portrayed.
Yeah.
And the story goes along smoothly and swiftly enough.
Is it from the point of view of the robbers or
Yeah.
the people catching them?
Well, it's been the
both?
robbers up to this point.
Right.
Because we've just been following the story as it happens.
Yeah.
But now this last episode was the police are now involved. So they've when they broke in, they thought that they had gotten rid of all the security cameras.
Right.
But there was one extra camera that they didn't know was there. So they have this camera watching them coming in and out, but they can't see any of their faces. So it kind of starts from there and then goes on. But it's really good. It's a really good kind of drama.
Yeah,
that's on ITV.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, I'm going to check both of those out.
Yeah,
They
binge
sound
watching
awesome.
over the weekend.
Yeah. So, should we show them our shoes? We got new shoes.
You might have seen them already
Yes.
on Instagram this week.
Yeah, I wore mine out in Bath yesterday. Some lovely red wedges.
And I wore mine, I think, the day before. It was, I wore them with a maxi skirt.
Yes. So we have been sent some lovely new shoes from Hush Puppies, which is a brand that I've always liked. I don't know if you've seen in previous pictures on Instagram that I have a little pair of red Victorian style ankle boots that I wear to death in the autumn and winter. And you guys on Instagram are always asking me where I got them from, and it's Hush Puppies. And the thing we love about Hush Puppies is that they are very comfortable shoes. They've been designed with comfort first, but they are also stylish, and that's the thing. I think it's quite tricky to find that balance, because especially as you get older, you really want to, you don't want to be forcing your feet into shoes that really kill you. You might get away with it for a couple of hours in the evening, but you certainly don't want to wear them in the daytime. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to just resign myself to, I've got to wear comfortable shoes and always be in trainers and flats, because there are so many other options out there, especially from Hush Puppies. So, should we show them the shoes that we've got from them?
Should we show them the ones that we've got that are the same?
Yeah, okay.
Because they are the same colour, aren't they?
Yeah, you pass me mine.
The same style.
Ooh, lovely. So we chose a pair each that were the same but different colours. So these are flats, and they're these cute little T-bar flats. And they have this cushioned sole, which is super
They're so comfortable.
comfy. And I think the thing with Hush Puppies is they're naturally a wider fit, which is what makes them comfortable. But I just think these are super wearable, and are just going to go with everything. I'm imagining long flowy maxi dresses, big floppy hats, and just wafting around in all my waftage.
And even shorts, shorts and a t-shirt.
Just very wearable.
I love your brown ones. It's the first time I've seen the brown, but they're really tan. They're really nice. Mine are called. They are blue granite. And it's this weird colour of blue, which looks like grey, but looks like blue, and also looks purplish.
When you had a purple skirt on, it looked purple,
So I think whatever you wear it with, it kind of, that sort of in-between colour that takes on different tones as with whatever you're wearing. So I think these are going to be fantastic. Wouldn't they look nice with my dress today as well?
Yeah.
So I love them.
I'm going to live in those for this summer, I think.
I wore them straight out of the box. No kidding, for the whole day.
Yeah.
And they didn't hurt me at all. They were incredibly comfortable. They're like wearing slippers.
Yeah.
So.
And then I wore yesterday, passing my wedges. So I wore these yesterday around Bath, and we were walking for hours.
Yeah.
We spent most of the day walking. Spent most of the day sitting and eating or walking. And I wore them straight out of the box as well, and I cannot believe how comfortable they were.
Yeah. No rubbing.
No. No, they were just really, really comfy. And also, I love red, and these are just going to go with so many different things. So
they're that corally red, aren't they? So they would look, again, they'll look orange if you're wearing orange, I think. They'll look more corally or rusty.
Really love those. They are amazing. Which have you got?
And I got a wedge as well, but they are these strappier wedges. So I went for the baby pink because I don't have anything which is that colour in my shoe collection.
Even then, that's another kind of quite flexible colour because it's kind of baby pink, but it's also kind of peach.
Yes,
and
or nude. It can look very nude as well. And it's the cork, so it's got a cork wedge and it's got little bits of glitter in it. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
But they are absolutely lovely. So I've not worn them yet. They're still in the box. But
I would
they're going to be worn
my
soon.
wedges are steering to go by, they are going to be super comfy too. So the great news about these is that you lucky people, you are, they've given us a discount code that we can share with you all. And this is indefinite. There's no deadline on it.
No.
But you can get 20% off anything on their website, which is amazing. So 20% is a fairly decent discount to have. So we're going to put the code in the description below. Go and see what they've got so we can vouch for their comfort and hopefully there's something that suits your style. And get 20% off.
Yes. I think I'm going to get some winter boots this year.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because I need new boots anyway, and I might as well go for a really good pair that are really comfortable.
Yeah,
that last me a few years.
They have got their winter boots on their website, and I just can't get my head into that way of thinking at the moment. But I'm going to struggle to choose because there are so many pairs. There are flats and heels and wedges and all sorts.
Excellent.
I'll probably want about 5 different ones.
But go check them out.
So the next thing that I thought I would mention is a new podcast that I found, which I'm totally intrigued by, and I've only listened to a few episodes, but I mean that doesn't take long at all because they're all less than 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's called 10 Things That Scare Me.
Ooh.
And you can find it on Spotify, on Apple, on all sorts of other places. Just Google 10 Things That Scare Me, but we'll link below as well. And what it is they interview people who are kind of famous and celebrities, but not anybody that I recognise. But it is an American podcast, so it doesn't really matter whether you know them or not because they ask them to list the 10 things that scare them.
Right.
And they're such random things because they're so personal to each person. Yeah. And there are some things where you go, oh yeah, actually I'm scared of that and I didn't even realise. And then there are other things where you go, okay, that's very personal to you. But I just find it fascinating. The thing that I find interesting about it is it's so raw because some of these things are really personal.
Yeah, of course.
And people are opening up about their deepest, darkest fears, but in a very quick sort of, they don't go into too much detail.
Right.
They might say 1 or 2 sentences about it. And you just think, wow, you feel like you know so much about this person in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
And what I found about it is the effect that it has is like, instead of giving you more things to be fearful of, which you would think it
could
would
happen.
It could happen. So if you're that way inclined, maybe it's not for you. Taking on everybody else's worries and stresses as well as your own. But I find there's almost like it's almost like a safety in numbers thing. Like finding out that someone else is also scared of something that you're scared of almost takes some of the fear out of it a little bit.
Yeah. But I guess it all just depends on, things that happen to you when you're young.
Yeah.
Things like that. I used to sell things at craft fairs and I used to stand behind my little table and I had one woman who came up and shrieked as she got to my table because she was frightened of buttons.
Oh.
And we've had that in class, I think, as
we've
well
had that
before.
Yeah, in classes we had people that were
thing.
terrified of birds, like even fabric that had birds on it, they had to leave the room.
They wouldn't like my house now, my house is filled with birds.
People that were really scared of velvet, like not a little bit scared, like again, didn't want to be in the room with it.
Yeah. It is strange, but I don't know how do you live your life being afraid of buttons? Because they're everywhere. Because people who aren't afraid of buttons are wearing shirts with buttons on them all the time.
Yeah, I guess you just have to look for poppers.
Yeah, but they're all around you. They're all around you all the time.
Yeah.
So but it's nice. I guess it kind of it means that other people are accepting you're weird.
Yeah, exactly. But I just find it really, really fascinating. Yeah, and it's just how personal it feels. So it's fascinating, and if that sort of thing intrigues you, then definitely go and check it out. Because like I said.
I wanted to mention a YouTube channel that we follow, and there's a lady, it's a French lady called Justine Leconte, and she does fashion and she does style and she does things that we don't cover at all, which I think is would be useful for you guys to have a look at as well. So she does lots of things about body shapes and face shapes and hair, like what shape your hair should be for your face shape and things like that. But she also has her own fashion collection, and she talks about things right the way through from start to finish. So she's got quite an expansive YouTube channel, and I think there's a lot of things that are on there that would be interesting to you guys on a fashion and style point of view. You know, how to wear the right, what handbag to wear with different outfits, all of that kind of thing. And I think it's kind of, they're good binge watching, or just little things like if you didn't know whether you're a good hat person, you watch her video on that to kind of give you an idea and give you some confidence. And I think she's one of those that whenever I'm thinking about something, I always go and see if she's done a video on it, and she usually has.
Yeah.
Like what size handbag to wear with like full length dresses, or that kind of thing, you know, that kind of combinations thing. And I think she does that really well.
Yeah, I find that sort of thing interesting to a point, but as you know, I don't like to follow any rules or do so personally I would wear whatever size handbag I wanted with whatever outfit I wanted. But I know that a lot of people do struggle with that, and don't necessarily have the confidence to go, well, that's the one I like, so I'm just going to wear it. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a, I don't know, affirmation that you're doing all right. And so I think it's really helpful for things like that. I came across her when I watched, the first video I ever watched of hers was telling me what type of feet I had. Judging by the length of your toes in relation to other toes and the overall sort of width and shape of your foot. So apparently I've got Greek feet.
Nice.
Which means that, you know, they're good for sandals. They're quite wide. I've got quite short toes. But I do struggle with heels, and that is true. I do struggle with very narrow, pointy toe
I'll have to watch
shoes because my feet aren't designed for that, and I found that quite interesting. I don't know if it really applies to everybody, but it's fascinating.
I think it is one of those things that she's not preachy at all. So she's not like, you know, if you have your hair cut that way, then you must change it. And you know, she's not like that. She's just giving you information, and it's information which you can choose to use or not. But we'd recommend it. She has lots and lots of interesting stuff you can watch. So we'll link underneath, and you can go and check her out.
So the final thing that I wanted to mention is, obviously it's been Me Made May.
Yes.
For the whole of the month.
The whole of May.
And I always discover new people, new accounts that I hadn't seen before. They just hadn't appeared on my radar before. And I just wanted to mention a couple that I particularly like. One of them is a lady called Buried Diamond. Obviously that's not actually her name, but that's her Instagram account. And if you took one look at it, it's just a riot of colour and all sorts of things on there that you would just, you wouldn't necessarily think that it was necessarily a handmade account. But when you go in and you look at each of her amazing outfit pictures, then you find that she's made them. And the thing that I was particularly impressed by is that I couldn't have picked out any of the patterns. Until I saw the code for the pattern, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's that one. I just would never, how she makes them and how they appear on the pattern envelope, very, very different things.
Yeah, and how she styled it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I always like accounts like that are quite inspirational because it makes you see patterns in a different way.
Yes.
And I love her use of colour. She's just got the most colourful wardrobe in the world. So go check that out, Buried Diamond. And then the other one that I wanted to mention, which is just, again, is another one for inspiration, is an account called A Paper Bag Waste. And it was set up by a lady who's a costume designer. And what she does is she basically finds fashion pictures, so they can come from, you know, magazines, online shops, high street, whatever. And then she finds a sewing pattern that is a good match. And sometimes they're current sewing patterns, and sometimes they are vintage sewing patterns. But basically, it's just the image that she found, the inspiration image, and then you swipe to see the pattern that she recommends.
Excellent.
And I just think, again, it helps you think about things slightly differently. But also, I think going through her feed is a bit like shopping from a catalogue, really. It's just like, oh, I'd like to make that. Swipe, that's how I'd make it. So it's quite handy to have. So yeah, if you want some inspiration for your Me Made wardrobe, go and check that out as well, Paper Bag Waste. But obviously we will link everything below as always.
Yes. So talking of Me Made, we get asked quite a lot on what we love this week.
Yeah.
What we're wearing.
Oh,
And I
okay.
meant to mention it at the beginning, but we'll do it now at the end. That's okay. So what are you wearing today?
I am wearing, this is a dress that we designed,
Yes.
and we designed it for a class that we were running at the school when we used to teach physical classes. Remember those days?
Oh, actual physical classes.
Yes, before it all switched to online. And it was basically, we called it Scuba Dress 2018.
Yeah, and it's
just because we had a really popular scuba dress class a good few years ago, and we wanted to come up with a slightly different design. So this time we went for a raglan sleeve, and it has a facing, and it has a keyhole in the back. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But then it's just it's kind of a bubble shape, and it's got pockets on the hips. Yeah.
The fabric was from Minerva.
It
wasn't
was,
it?
yes. It was from Minerva, and when we posted it online, they sold out, and then there were lots of people that really wanted some more of it. And it is a Lady McElroy, I believe.
In Scuba.
Yeah, all
It's
gone.
a lovely one, but we're very print heavy today, aren't we?
Yes.
And mine is a Tilly in the Buttons Bettine dress.
Yes.
Which is a
Micro satin. Yeah, I remember
that I
buying
got from Devities, and it's got, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got sunglasses on it.
Spectacles.
Obviously, it's just your normal Bettine shape with pockets and everything like that. So we'll maybe, if we take some pictures of Me Made Me, I'll insert them as well, so you can see the whole thing top to toe.
Yes.
So that's what we're wearing. That's what we love this week. We'll see you next week.
Have a great Sunday, guys. Bye.